over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. It's January. Do you know what I used to do when my son is now 30, so I don't do this anymore, but when he was in his younger days, when he was a preteen and then a teen, it was around this time of year where I would start to plan a trip, and we'd always plan it usually around July. And I can remember many, many years camping, and he would have a birthday while we're camping, and we saw the Grand Canyon. We went to Quebec. I miss being on the road. I miss traveling a lot. Mm-hmm. That's why I like talking to people who talk about travel. Maybe this will be a year I travel more. Travis Katz is on the phone. Travis is a travel expert and the co-founder and CEO of Trip.com. Really? Okay, I got another website to look at, Robin.
Okay.
So I live vicariously through these websites. It's going to tell us about the top emerging travel destinations for 2017 based on real traveler data. Oh, my gosh. Travis, thank you for being on the air with us. Good morning, sir. I'm ready to jump into the conversation. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Larry. I'm calling in from San Francisco, California.
Oh, my gosh. It's on my bucket list. I've never been there. I have friends who moved out there. I have friends who were there from my childhood in New York.
I'll tell you, it's a really awesome city. It's beautiful. There's a ton to see, so we would love to have you come out and visit us.
Do you know what I often tell people? If you're coming to Orlando, because that's where we are, go to the attractions, get that out of your system, but then visit the real city. Is the same thing true with San Francisco? Do you have certain things that tourists always visit, and then you say to them, get that out of your system and now come over here? Do you do the same thing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's a lot of things in San Francisco, like the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz, that you actually have to see because they're amazing. They're tourist attractions.
Right.
But a lot of the neighborhoods that are famous for tourists, like the Fisherman's Wharf, they're very touristy. They have the tourist shops, and if you really want to experience the real city and the unique culture, a lot of times it's worth getting off the beaten track. And a lot of what we do at Trip.com is really help guide people
really
off the beaten track and to sort of discover, the real nuggets of what a place is about, and help you find the stuff that's more interesting than just the top 10 stuff that you might find.
Okay. Oh my gosh, the first picture I love. Oh, I went to your website. 2 people in a swimming pool on some high rise in New York City.
Oh, let me see.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and the next one, is that the next one San Francisco? Is there the couple on a hill in San Francisco? Oh
Yep. That's San Francisco.
Wow, you did a good job with the website. You make me want to travel. There's Paris. Okay, so it says here we have the top travel destinations. What are they?
Yeah, so what we do each year, Larry, we've got more than 10 million people that come every year to Trip.com to research their travel destinations. So what that means is we see a lot of data about where are people going, and instead of putting out the list of what are the most popular destinations, because those usually are the more obvious ones like New York City or San Francisco,
right.
What we like to do is dig a little bit deeper and find what we call the rising stars, where we're seeing the biggest increases in the number of travelers based on the people booking on our site. And this year the list was really interesting. It's a very international list. In fact, it's our most international list we've ever had, which I think shows that people, despite a lot of talk in the news about, people reacting against globalization and all that sort of thing, it still means Americans are getting out and seeing the world. Number 1 on our list this year is Adelaide, Australia. So if you've ever dreamed of seeing, kangaroos and koalas and all those types of things, Adelaide is the place to do it. So
really?
It's the capital of South Australia, and it's really the gateway to the outdoors. So there's 3 big national parks right outside of Adelaide. There's an island off the coast called Kangaroo Island that's a nature preserve you can visit, and as the name implies, you can see kangaroos there.
Really? Oh, that sounds cool.
Crocodiles, the whole thing. And so all that sort of unique wildlife in Australia you can get to from Adelaide, and it's also the gateway to sort of Australia's wine country. So if you like wine and food and that sort of thing, it's sort of the Napa Valley of Australia. So a lot of people think of Sydney when they go to Australia, but actually we're seeing a big trend towards Adelaide as a place to go.
Oh, wow. I never even heard of Adelaide or Kangaroo Island. That sounds fun. Yeah, okay.
Fun, right? So it's pretty far, but it's fun.
How long is that? How long of a trip?
I think from Los Angeles, it's a 14-hour flight direct.
Wow.
So it's a long trip. So if you're looking for something a little closer to home, One of the places that we're seeing a huge trend this year, and maybe unsurprisingly, is Cuba. So as you guys know, the travel restrictions to Cuba were just lifted last year.
Yeah.
So for the first time, Americans can actually legally travel to Cuba. And so, imagine yourself walking down, cobblestone streets amongst, Spanish colonial architecture and the sound of salsa music coming out the windows. Cuba's got a very, very rich culture, great food, great music, white sand beaches, and there's a lot more than just Havana as well. So Trinidad is an old Spanish colonial city in Cuba. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the UN designates some of these for protection, these World Heritage Sites that really capture a historical moment in time.
That's very doable for us. That's maybe what, maybe a 1 hour flight. Be about a 1 hour flight, right?
An hour flight, an hour and a half. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds interesting. So what do you do in Cuba? I mean, besides just taking in the historic part of it.
Well, so there's a lot of it. There's obviously great beaches and any sort of beach stuff that you can think of, but a lot of it's really about going and seeing the historical stuff. So you've seen photos of the old cars in Cuba. So with the embargo, they've had to keep these cars from the 1950s running, and so wandering the streets there and seeing the cars in some of the smaller cities, like the way you get around, you take a horse-drawn carriage.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can go to Trinidad and see sort of the old...
really?
By horseback. And then there's an island called Cayo Iguana, which is, as the name implies, it's an island that has, all these iguanas all over the rocks, and it's just sort of really interesting nature as well. So there's a lot to see and do there, and I think, as Americans, we sort of blocked out because we couldn't go there, so think about it. But it's actually a pretty interesting destination and great food as well. Okay,
I'm on your website. I love your website, by the way. So I'm going to be a fan of this website like this afternoon. So do some people look for destinations based on like specific events, like for example, and I would never go to the inauguration. It just sounds too boring and too crowded. but do some people do that? They say, okay, let me be a positive. Let's say I do want to go to the inauguration. Do some people do that and they look up their destinations that way?
Yeah. So there's lots of different ways, and what's great about Trip.com is you basically can go to the front page and just search for whatever you're looking for. So a lot of people have a specific destination in mind. Sometimes people just say, hey, I want to go to Europe, and sort of just start diving in and clicking around, and we've got more than 5 million photos on the site, so you can really sort of take a visual tour through any destination you're interested in. A lot of people do travel for events like the inauguration, which, I, like you, wouldn't want to go anywhere near there because it's freezing cold in Washington this time of year, and it's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be hard to get a table at a restaurant. But a lot of people want to be there for, the historic moment. There's also a bunch of people who are going to show up there and protest, and so it's going to be it's going to be as full as it's ever been, I think, in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
My advice would be go somewhere else, somewhere warm. Closer to home, one of the rising stars we had on our list this year was South Padre Island in Texas, which a lot of people think of South Padre Island as like, that's a spring break party area, which, it deserved that reputation in the 80s, but it's actually a great family destination as well. So they have a sea turtle rescue center there where they, save the sea turtle eggs from being eaten by dogs or stepped on by people, and then you can watch them release the baby turtles.
Neat. I love that. I actually woke up one time. I was working in Palm Beach, and I woke up early one morning, and I went out to take a walk on the beach, and it was covered with turtles. I couldn't believe it.
That was cool.
And the news said, don't touch them. But I found some that were in the parking lot of the hotel, and they couldn't get over the curb. They would have died. So I did touch them. I picked them up and put them on the sand and said, go, young man, go.
You saved the turtles.
I think that's the right thing to do. I mean, you want to sort of make sure they don't get eaten by dogs or get hit by cars.
Right? Yeah, they were in a parking lot. Travis, I love this conversation. We could have gone longer, and I know you've got other radio shows to talk to. The website I went to, I've been looking at it while Travis was talking. It's called Trip.com. It's really great. I even typed in Ocala, by the way. One quick question I have: Can we add photos to your photos?
Yes. So you can. So the whole site is based on a community. So you can write reviews of places that you like. You can upload your own photos, and that's where we really get. We have 10 million users that use the site, and the whole thing is based on our community. Actually, one of the things that's unique about Trip.com is we have something called tribes. So we have 19 tribes. So think tribes as like family travelers, nightlife lovers, outdoor enthusiasts, and we use that to personalize the experience. So you can come in and say, I'm on a budget and I'm a foodie and I like nightlife. What do people like me do when they're in Orlando or in Medellin? And we'll help you find advice that you can trust.
Oh, I love that. And gosh, can I get you one more question? Do you have like if you go to a town, if I go to San Francisco, for example, and I say, gosh, I don't know any of these mom and pops. I know McDonald's and I know Olive Garden, but I want a mom and pop that maybe a local would recommend. Do you have that on the site also?
Yeah, so we have Foodies is actually our biggest tribe on the site, and so if you really want to discover the best local food and get away from the chains and to the mom and pops, that's exactly what the site is for. And actually, we have a mobile app for iPhone and Android that you can take with you, and it helps you discover restaurants near where you are right now, and you can sort of filter by your tribe and nearby and what's in their price.
I like the word tribe. Travis, thank you for being on the air with us. Thank you for getting up early. My gosh, 9, 8, 7, 6 o'clock in your world.
Larry.
The website, trip.com. Thank you, Travis.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Robin. It's great to be on your show.
Thank you. We will be right back.
You've got a garden, and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Leprechaun Soft Wash is the roof washing method that is safe and effective on shingles, tile, metal and shake roofs, vinyl, wood, aluminum, hardy board and stucco siding, driveways, pavers, and the list goes on. Leprechaun Soft Wash is fully insured and uses biodegradable cleaning products. Plus, Leprechaun Soft Wash offers a spot-free warranty on roof cleanings. Call 751-2325.
No more blimey roof stains with Leprechaun Soft Wash. 751-2325.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Wednesday, sunshine, some clouds, and warm. High 79 to 83. Partly cloudy Wednesday night with a low of 56 to 60. There'll be some fog in the area late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and partly to mostly sunny and warm later Thursday with a high of 78 to 82. Friday, partly sunny and warm, high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
When you go into Automax, Marion County's #1 pre-owned dealer for over 15 years, you won't take the new car depreciation because Automax saves you thousands on late model vehicles. Browse the inventory online at automaxocala.com. Then come down to see the great vehicles and upfront pricing in person. Compare up to 60 models inside the climate control showroom. So take your time. No high pressure, no gimmicks, no games. On the corner of 17th and Easy Street. Automax. Quality cars, outlet prices. Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Straw Rehabilitation, inviting you to tune in to the first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. to learn about the latest advances in healthcare available right here at home. Ocala Regional Medical Center and Strive have teamed up to bring the most qualified medical professionals on the air to answer your questions and bring information to help you in your decisions concerning your health. Again, that's the first and third Thursday. Health matters.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to the source, WOCA.
All right, 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Do you know how many people are out there that are visitors? Do you ever look at visitors and say, I want to be a visitor? Mm-hmm. But you know, when I used to travel, I'm a contrary person, really. I contradict my own self. When I was younger, I was traveling so much, I actually was jealous of people who got to stay home.
Oh,
I was. Well, I used to play, colleges, and I used to be performing, and I remember one time specifically looking across the microphone and thinking every one of these people is going to go home, and I'm going to get in my car and drive to the next gig. Mm-hmm. Or I'm going to get into my car and go to the hotel and then drive to a gig. And I think one of these days I want to get a job where I just stay home. So now I've been doing that for how many years? 20-something years now. Now I'm ready to travel again. Yeah. I think I got the bug last year when I went to New York with my son, to be honest with you.
Oh, there you go.
All right, this Friday is the inauguration. I do not want to be at the inauguration. It's cool, and I want to watch it. But I don't think I want to be there. I think I'd rather watch it on TV or something. Mm-hmm. So I just have some fun stuff. I hope this does, because I have a game later on with you and Joe on Fun with Joe, inauguration trivia. So some of these questions or some of these things, little factoids I'm going to tell you, may be presented as a question later on. Mm-hmm. So it may disqualify you, I guess, because he's probably not listening, or if he is, then he can tell me, and then I can see if you were paying attention.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
I probably won't be able to because I'll be here, but I might have it up on the computer here while I'm clicking away on my pen. But anyway, the first televised inauguration was Harry Truman, and of course, Vice President. You remember him, right? You remember the Vice President under Harry Truman?
No. Is it Eisenhower? I don't know.
No, that would be a good guess. It was a guess. It was Barkley.
Oh,
I don't. Vice President. Hey, yeah, nobody remembers him.
I don't remember him. No.
Anyway, it was the first inauguration that was televised.
Oh, okay.
It was 1949.
Okay.
So, what do you think the television looked like? Was it that big box with the little screen?
The tiny screen, very tiny, maybe a foot by a foot, right? 12 inches by 12 inches.
Oh, if that.
Smaller than that.
I think it was even smaller than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big box. Big box that got hot. Remember, it would get hot.
Yeah, tiny screen.
If you are watching the inauguration and you say, where in the Constitution is that oath? It is in Article 2, Section 1, Clause 8 of the Constitution. You might recognize what it says. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And I didn't know that. If I did know it, I forgot.
Right.
So that's embarrassing.
Well, we get old and we forget things.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I have some more stuff here. Here's a question. See if you remember this one. Who was the only president who had to retake the oath because of a mistake?
Was it Ford?
It was Obama. In 2009, Barack Obama retook the oath one day after becoming president because Chief Justice John Roberts said the word faithfully out of sequence while administering the oath on Inauguration Day. The move was aimed at erasing any questions that Obama wasn't officially the president.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
You remember that?
That's right. I do recall that now. I do recall that. Gosh, I forgot about that.
President-elect Trump is going to be sworn in using with his hand on the Bible that was the same Bible that President Obama used, which was the same Bible that Abraham Lincoln used. Mm-hmm. Okay?
That's interesting.
And President Trump is also going to use a second Bible. I don't know what the procedure is for this, but it's the Bible he got when he graduated Sunday school as a kid. Mm-hmm. Okay? So when President Obama was sworn in, as I mentioned, he used the Lincoln Bible, but he also used the Bible of Martin Luther King Jr.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I wondered that this morning. I was trying to remember if I was right, but and it is right. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Hey, you.
See, I don't have a computer, so I couldn't look it up. But I know that one of our presidents, it was severely cold on the day of the inauguration, and he got sick and died of pneumonia several weeks or a couple of months later. Do you know who that would be by chance?
I do. William Henry Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Very short-lived presidency. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate the call and the question. I have a family connection to William Henry Harrison.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know. I don't know the connection, but my father's middle name was Harrison. All of my uncles were middle named Harrison. All of my aunts had the middle name Harrison. Everybody in my family had the middle name Harrison. And then when my father had children, he chose to not continue the tradition. My cousins, by the way, on my father's side, all have the middle name Harrison, and it somehow connects to that guy, William Henry Harrison.
Oh, my gosh.
So I really, honestly, I didn't look it up. Mm-hmm. When Hugh brought it up, it just happens to be one of the things I know because of that little family thing. Don't ask me the connection. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know. And I think I probably asked a million times, and nobody seems to know. So it's one of those family things that I guess got lost. Who was the most recent president to kiss the Bible after taking the inaugural oath? It was, Harry Truman.
Oh.
The last president to kiss the Bible was Harry Truman. President George Washington started the tradition of kissing the Bible in 1789, and we haven't done it since 1949. Good morning. Hey, New York.
Yay.
New York.
Good job.
There you go.
Wow, now that's interesting. Since 1949, we haven't done that.
Right. I guess nobody wants to kiss the Bible anymore.
No, they don't want to be.
In 1961, you know which president that would be? That would be Kennedy. Mm-hmm. A fire broke out in the lectern.
Oh, did not know that.
The wiring under a lectern started a small fire. The flames were quickly put out. I wonder if there's any footage of that somewhere.
Yeah, because, we've seen the footage of his inauguration, but I just, isn't that something?
We do have a historic thing happening this Friday.
Okay.
Regarding who is actually swearing in. I believe he's swearing in the vice president, right?
Yes.
That would be Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
So he's the first African American to administer the oath. Mm-hmm. To one of our elected officials, to president or vice president, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so the first woman, I have that here. Mm-hmm. The first woman was, let's see, Chief Justice of the United States. The tradition calls for presidents to be sworn in by Chief Justice of the United States, all of whom have been men. The urgency in 1963, following the assassination of Kennedy, led to Vice President Lyndon Johnson taking the oath of office aboard Air Force One. The oath was administered by Federal District Judge Sarah T. Hughes. So it's the only time a president was sworn in by a woman was in 1963.
Mm-hmm. Gosh.
The first president to take the oath of office in Washington, D.C. was Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, okay.
The U.S. Capitol moved from Philadelphia to Washington just in time for the inauguration of President Thomas Jefferson in 1801. So he was the third president, right?
Yes, I think so.
So the first two, Washington and Adams, must have been sworn in Philadelphia then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
New York, one of them.
Maybe New York.
I can't remember. All right, we will take a break and be right back. Looks like we're going to learn about getting a job. Laura Burns is here from Career Source Citrus, Levy, Marion, and we'll be right back with Laura after the break. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Fresh tweets out this morning from President-elect Donald Trump taking aim at NBC's Today Show for saying jobs coming back to the U.S. had nothing to do with him. Mr. Trump slamming the show on, quote, biased NBC, saying no wonder it's doing so badly. The president-elect telling Fox's Ainsley Earhardt he'll keep tweeting once he takes office.
I get very dishonest media, very dishonest press. And it's my only way that I can counteract. Like, for instance, when John Lewis said, he's never done it before where he skipped an inauguration. Well, he has. It turned out to be a lie.
Mr. Trump has more than 20 million followers. And in central Italy, the same area devastated